Meet the OC Superstars, the official biography, as told by Monica Rizzo. You know you love it. Now find out how they really do it in the OC. The coolest drama on TV is home to the hottest new stars on the scene. Here's the place to meet each and every one. Find out about their real life roots, rents, romances, stats, and behind the scenes secrets too. It's all about the OC and the hotties who live there. In addition to the talented actors who star as Ryan, Seth, and Marissa, you'll get to know their friends and foes on Planet OC, including Rachel Summer Bilson, Samare, Anna Armstrong, Chris, Luke Carmack, and their TV parents, Peter Gallagher, Kelly Rowan, Tate Donovan, and Melinda Clark. Page after page of drool worthy pictures, portraits, candids, action pics, and more. Extra crunchy eye candy. The official biography of TV's newest megastars. Here's what and who you need to know. The OC is must see TV. Benjamin McKenzie, Ryan Atwood. Ryan Atwood is the new kid in town, and he is played by actor Benjamin McKenzie. Everything that happens in the OC, good, bad, pretty, and the pretty ugly, gets amped up upon Ryan's arrival. He's the catalyst, the linchpin for the show, and all of its characters. Ryan spent the first 16 years of his life in the small working class town of Chino, California. His childhood was trouble filled from day one. Call it 8 Mile Chino style. Dad's in prison, delinquent older bro Trey's on the way there. Mom suffers from alcoholism and has bad taste in boyfriends. One of them punched out Ryan in the show's pilot. She added insult to assault by abandoning him altogether. Ryan always had the smarts and sensitivity for a better life, only not the means. That was taken care of when, courtesy of Trey, he landed in juvie for stealing a car and met do-good lawyer Sandy Cohen, who took him home to his oceanfront mansion, breadwinner wife Kirsten, and lonely only son Seth to Orange County, the OC. Cue the fish out of water plotline. Cue newcomer Benjamin McKenzie for breathing life into Ryan. His take: Ryan is fundamentally good, but also, because of his past, has problems. He is very distrustful of people. He can be violent, and he has problems controlling his anger and controlling his tongue. He is kind of lost. Initially, when we start the show, he's very fragile in a way. He doesn't want to admit it and tries to hide it the best he can. One thing that sets Ryan apart from the often portrayed brooding, leather jacket wearing bad boy is that he really wants to succeed in life, and he is grateful for the opportunity the Coens have given him. We're able to have Ryan be incredibly strong and stoic, yet utterly fragile which hopefully creates a very compelling character to watch, Ben says. Ryan discovers that the world has a lot to offer him so long as he puts forth the effort. That is very similar to the lessons Ben learned when he was growing up. Ben's boyhood, deep in the heart of Texas. Benjamin McKenzie Schenkem is the oldest of 3 children. He was born and raised in Austin, Texas. His growing up years were about as far from his characters as you can get. Ben's dad, Pete, is an attorney, and mom, Frances, is a poet/writer. Ben's brothers are Nate, 22, an actor, and Zach, 19, a college student. Ben's boyhood is filled with many fond memories. I had two very loving parents. Austin was a very relaxed, quiet kind of town, and I had a very sweet and wonderful childhood, describes Ben, noting that at times he took advantage of being the oldest boy in his family. Don't ask my younger brothers how loving I was. We were always beating up each other, wrestling, and boxing around. Typical boy stuff. I beat up Nate on so many occasions, Ben says, laughing. I think he's remarkably well adjusted considering the torture I put him through back then. When Ben was in junior high and high school, he lightened up on his younger brother and instead focused his energy on football. Yes, Ben, more like the OC's Luke than Ryan, was a jock. He played wide receiver and defensive back for the Austin High Maroon football team and scored his fair share of touchdowns. Football was the one sport he loved more than anything. Football is a religion down there in Texas. We practiced hard and played hard and had a good time doing it, says Ben. Ben was an outstanding team member and enjoyed practicing and playing ball with his friends, but he often enjoyed time to himself so he could read and study. I was never one to seek out the popular kids in school. I studied a lot and generally just kept to myself. I've always been a quiet type, not enormously socially aggressive. Courage was in short supply, however, when it came to the school's drama club. He never joined. I guess I didn't have the guts then, he admits. That was surprising because theater runs in the Schenken family. Ben's uncle, Robert Schenken, is an actor and a Pulitzer Prize winning author of the play The Kentucky Cycle. Brother Nate began acting while in high school. It wasn't until Ben was a student at the University of Virginia that he decided to take a look at the drama department. When I was in college, I wanted to get a good education. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do for a living, but I liked politics and government and history and literature. I majored in economics and foreign affairs. One day, while walking through the UVA campus, Ben came across a notice that auditions were being held for a school play. On a lark, Ben went to the auditions and landed a part. I enjoyed it so much. I auditioned again and got another one, he says. I studied during the day and then I got to be a little artsy at night. By the time I got to my fourth year, I was spending more time in the drama department than I was in foreign affairs or economics. After earning his degree in May 2001, Ben held off looking for a job in his major and decided instead to take a shot at becoming a professional actor. I thought, hey, what do I have to lose? It was the only time in my life where I had the fewest obligations. Not married, no kids, no huge college tuition bills to pay off. He apprenticed at the Williamstown Theater Festival that summer in Williamstown, Massachusetts. Every year, the world's top actors travel to the festival, which is one of the most respected gatherings in the theater world, drawing talent such as Gwyneth Paltrow and Ethan Hawke. During the summer, Ben attended the festival. He was able to observe and learn from experienced actors like Sam Rockwell. At the end of the summer, he moved to New York City with a couple of friends. 3 guys crammed into a tiny 2-bedroom apartment near the city's theater district. Just as Ben was getting settled into his new digs, the September 11th terrorist attacks occurred. It was a very strange time to be there, he notes. The tragedy affected everyone, Ben included. It made me question what I was doing. It felt so frivolous to be acting. In the end, Ben stuck it out and paid his dues like many aspiring actors. He waited tables and eventually began to land small roles in off Broadway plays. A friend introduced him to a theatrical agent who suggested Ben go to Los Angeles to meet with his West Coast counterpart. The agent thought his partner might be able to help Ben break into television acting. Ben packed his bags in April 2002 for what he thought would be a 1 week trip. It's been a long week. Bad Boy in the City of Angels. Ben found a small but affordable apartment in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles. After months of trying to get the chance to audition, he landed a 2-line voiceover part in a Dr. Pepper commercial and later a guest starring role on TV's Jag. 1 year and countless auditions later, Ben landed his breakthrough role, Ryan Atwood on the OC. I knew this was a good show, and I knew I had auditioned as well as I could, says Ben, who compares getting the role of Ryan to hitting the lottery. It couldn't have happened at a better time. Like all actors who are at the beginning stages of their careers, Ben was trying to work several jobs in order to pay his rent and bills, and in his free time pursue acting work. Because a lot of auditions happened during the day, Ben needed a flexible work schedule. He sold tickets at the Mark Taper Forum, a performing arts center in downtown Los Angeles, and, as he had done in New York, he waited tables at a small restaurant. I wasn't a very good waiter, Ben says, laughing. I had customers complain and constantly tell me I was terrible. Here I was living in the valley, driving in an unair conditioned car from audition to audition, getting rejected over and over. Then I'd go to my night job where I had to work to pay the bills. It was a period of struggle, but I know I'm blessed to have reached success as fast as I have. When Ben walked into the audition room where OC producers Josh Schwartz and McGee were sitting, he figured he'd act the part the way he wanted to, and not the way he thought they might want him to. I didn't try to impress anybody, which was different from my other auditions, and I think that's why I got it, Ben says. He had a comfort level with the role because he and Ryan have a few things in common. I don't think I'm brooding like Ryan, but I am a bit of a loner, contemplative. I'm friendly and nice, but I'm not a gregarious type of person. That may be what the producers picked up on. How are Ben and Ryan different? Well, Ben says we have completely different backgrounds. I came from such a loving family. When it comes to girls, Ben says Ryan is much more of a ladies' man. I dated a few girls in high school, but I was too nervous at that point to really like girls. I still am. As for his OC co-star, Misha Barton, Ben says she's cool. What's not cool is when Ryan and Marissa having a kissing scene. There's nothing romantic or private about it at all, Ben says. Kissing someone for a job is just strange. Having 100 people watching you, but they're really not watching for you. They just need to see if the lighting's right or the sound's right, so they have to look at you. After getting the role, Ben decided to do a bit of research. He jumped in his car and drove to Orange County and Ryan's hometown of Chino. It's a perfectly lovely town. Like any place, it has nice parts and probably not so nice parts, which is where they imagine Ryan is from, Ben says. Both places, Ben says, are a world away from his hometown of Austin. When Ben first moved to Los Angeles, he felt a little bit like Ryan in ritzy Newport Beach. I felt a little bit like a fish out of water. LA is full of fabulous wealth and odd people behaving oddly. After a 2 year adjustment period, Ben has settled nicely into the cozy beach community of Santa Monica, where he rents an apartment. In his free time, Ben enjoys reading, watching movies, going to the gym, and running at the beach. Weekends are spent watching football games and playing in an entertainment basketball league with his OC co stars Chris Carmack, Luke, and Adam Brody, Seth. Occasionally, Ben gets a little nostalgic for his hometown. I feel closer to things from Texas now that I've left, and I guess it's because I kind of cling to things that remind myself of where I'm from. I wear cowboy boots. I listen to country music like Johnny Cash, Lyle Lovett, and Willie Nelson, Ben says. Still, California has taken hold on Ben, who can't deny that there's no place he'd rather be. I'm glad things happened the way they did. I'm on a show that I'm really proud of. Almost famous. When Ben got to Los Angeles, he discovered that there was already a working actor by the name of Ben Shankman. Because their names were so similar, and because the other Ben was already known in the entertainment industry, he starred in the HBO movie Angels in America. Ben decided to use Mackenzie, his middle name, as his last name for his acting credits. It only took one airing of the OC in August 2003 for people to connect to Ben. While he usually values his alone time, Ben is slowly adjusting to getting recognized wherever he goes. People are so supportive. Sometimes it's a little kid, and then it's someone's grandmother. One of my friends asked me to sign a picture for his grandmother to give her for Christmas. I can't think of a lot of other shows that would have that broad appeal, Ben says. Ben isn't the only one who's been affected by the success of the OC. His parents back in Texas received lots of fan mail and gifts for him. There was this woman who sent me pillowcases that she had sewn. She sent them to me at my family's home address in Texas. I don't know who she is, Ben says of the fan. It's pretty strange, but it's pretty flattering. Going from being just another customer in line at the supermarket to a superstar on the covers of magazines like TV Guide and Entertainment Weekly, which are sold in the supermarket, is a little bit trippy. But Ben swears he's not letting it get to his head. He still waits his turn in line when he's at the store, and he still prefers quiet evenings at home reading a book or hanging out with a couple of friends. I'm not really into going to parties. I went to the premiere of Grind because Adam Brody, who plays Seth Cohen on the OC, was in it, and I've gone to things for publicity for the show, but that's about it, Ben asserts. When he's working, Ben usually eats on the run, which is sometimes takeout or the catered meals the OC set provides for the actors when they have to work long hours. When he has the time, Ben loves to cook chili, pasta, and chicken dishes. He also cleans his apartment without the help of a maid and does his own laundry. Ben's social life doesn't include a special someone right now. He dates and says there are qualities he admires in a girl. I like someone ambitious, who is driven and passionate about whatever it is they want to do, Ben says. I like people who are going to do something with their lives rather than just talk about it. There's a lot of buzz about Ben, who's one of Hollywood's most sought after young actors. In 2003, People magazine named Ben one of its sexiest men, and Entertainment Weekly proclaimed him and his OC castmates TV's breakout stars of the year. He's being pursued for numerous film roles, which is a bit overwhelming for a guy who, just a year ago, was wearing an apron and taking orders from demanding customers. Life has changed for Ben since the OC took off. but he swears he's still the same guy he was growing up in Texas. I have a pretty good sense of who I am, and I think I'm pretty good at sticking to what I believe in, Ben says. Success doesn't change who you are.